Okay, and now we come to the reflector. And honestly, folks, me sitting up here trying to tell you about a reflector is near the height of insanity, because I barely understand them at all. They're so rare. What I'm sharing with you is not necessarily completely from my experience. I've gotten a little experience with them. What I do know about the reflector aura is that it is, and again, this is because I can feel the aura, it's much tougher than I thought. When I heard the term reflector in the beginning of my human design study, somehow I felt like they were going to be really soft, squishy beings. They're not at all. They're very tough. They're strong beings, and you can just see that they're sampling. It's hard to put your finger on one because they're so different. They're lunar beings, and if you think having to wait out your emotional wave seems like a pain, how about this one? For the reflector, they have to wait a whole moon cycle, 29 and a half days, in order to get any sort of clarity. They are truly lunar beings. They are not solar beings. The rest of us are working on this 24-hour approximate time schedule. They're working on the 29 days cycle. So for the reflector, the experiment is, first of all, the only important thing, or the thing that is the most tangible about being a reflector, is you have to be in the right place. If you're not in the right place, your aura literally kind of closes down, is my experience. If you're in the right place as a reflector, you'll be with the right people. You'll be reflecting back what's happening. It's also suggested that because the moon cycles through every 29 days, all of your hanging gates in that design, when you look at a reflector chart, it's all white. There's no centers colored in there, but there's lots of little hanging gates. And that for me, with my little experience with reflectors, I found that they can almost learn that like a song on the piano. Yeah, dee 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 dee. They're moving through all these different designs. They become a generator for a few days. They become a projector, and then they become a manifest. I mean, they just move through all these different designs so they can kind of learn that song. But until they've played that whole song, they have no clarity. So if you're a reflector, you've got to really get calm. You're just here to sit back and observe it all. Reflectors could be the ultimate judges because they would see what was correct for the whole community. They're not, they're very transpersonal in that regard. They're really here to sit back and see the whole movie. So if you're a reflector and you've watched the Meet Your Monkey segment of these videos where we went through all the open centers, don't get too nervous, because yes, you are open in all those centers, but you're only taking little bits and pieces. It's a little different than the other designs where they're immediately conditioned in those centers. You are being conditioned, but you're not being conditioned by that person and that person. You're being conditioned by all of the people. And you're only taking little bits and pieces at a time. So what really protects you is not being in a hurry. For the reflector to really sit back and relax and go, okay, I'm not going to make any major decisions until I've gone through a whole moon cycle. You can see how much stillness that could bring to someone. And if you're a reflector and you're new to this experiment, the only thing you really need to figure out is if you're in the right place. Because if you're in the right place, then you'll be taking in the right environment. You're really about the environment, about the whole, the whole collective. It's not about this person or that person. So if you're a reflector, you're a strange bird. You're different. You're really different. And for people to be able to recognize that in you is really beautiful. I think reflectors are so amazing, and it's going to be exciting for me to get to know more and more as I get deeper in my process about how they really work. And until then, good luck.